Welcome. I'm here with Lauren Berger from Intern Queen, internqueen.com. She's not only from Intern Queen, she is the CEO of Intern Queen. Started the company, which is a service, a website to hook up employers and students, mainly interested in people who are interested in internships. Tell us how that is going, how the internship field is going right now, Lauren.
The internship world is going really well. There's a lot of controversy in the internship space right now. A lot of books being written, things happening, and a lot of articles being written that are quite interesting.
Indeed, I saw it yesterday. I forwarded to you the article.
Times New Republic, right?
Yeah, in the New Republic, TNR.com had an unpleasant article about you, which was a reference to a book. It was a review of a book. And the book essentially and the article were sort of negatively portraying internships, which you and others facilitate, as being low-paid, unpaid work that takes jobs from people who should be paid, basically, right?
Yeah, something of that nature. And I think that the purpose of the book, and the book that everyone has been referring to, is Ross Perlin's book called Internation. And I think that it's an interesting argument to pick. I think there's an argument there. I don't make that argument on a daily basis. I think my job is to provide students with the tools that is going to help them make the most of an internship in today's culture. And internships are a large part of today's culture. That being said, Ross, Mr. Perlin, does have, he has valid arguments, and I think his overall purpose of starting a conversation, which is what he kind of preaches, is that, I think he said in an interview that he wants to start an internship conversation. I know myself and several other career coaches, internship facilitators are also happy to sit down and have a conversation and say, okay, what can we do to make this space operate in a better way than it does now?
And you were saying that as valuable as unpaid internships are, you do recognize there are situations where it can be really difficult for someone just to work for free. And you were giving me an example before about a company offering an internship in China. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Well, right. The problem that we have with unpaid internships is that a lot of students cannot afford to do them because they have financial responsibility of their own to carry. With an unpaid internship, I do tell students, and I believe that students can manage a job, a part-time job, with an unpaid internship. Usually unpaid internships require about 15 hours per week. Personally, I always had a job while I had my unpaid internships, so I know from personal experience that it's possible. That being said, of course, there are students who have other responsibility, who need full-time work, and who cannot afford to do unpaid internships. And I wish, and my hope and goal is to create some sort of fund so that there are more scholarship opportunities for students that want to intern.
And tell us about the company that was offering a job.
Right,
internship.
I had a situation recently with a girl who doesn't necessarily need to be working full-time, but she got a great opportunity from a magazine that's based in New York, and they are they're launching their magazine in China, and it's a USC student, and they want to send her to China to be an intern and help them start their Chinese, or help them launch their Chinese publication. Great opportunity for her, except for that's going to cost a lot of money, and the company is not helping, and they're not paying for anything. That's a situation where I was tweeting about this last week, who can help this girl? Who can help her get to China? Who can fund this? Should it be coming from the school? Should it be coming from the company? Because this is a great experience for her and something that she should be able to do. And that's, an unfortunate situation that there's no funding to get her there and to allow her this great experience.
Are there things that you could imagine a company doing? It doesn't have to be in this situation, but a company in general who maybe can't or won't or doesn't pay for an internship, things they can do to help make it work for an employer, for an intern?
Right. If a company has decided that it's in their policy to not pay interns, which an unpaid internship, as long as it follows the 6 criteria as defined by the U.S. Department of Labor, you can have a legal unpaid internship program. So you have to be very careful and make sure you're following all the rules. If you've decided that you're going to have an unpaid internship program, I encourage CEOs, internship coordinators to say, okay, if we're not going to pay them, what can we do? Can we cover lunches? Can we cover travel expenses? What can we do to help these students out? Because these students do have a lot on their plate. I'm talking and communicating with these students every day, and anything you can help them out with is so helpful to them. It really is.
Another thing that is going on is virtual internships. Tell us about that.
Virtual internships are becoming more and more popular every day. We're seeing this with a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurs, companies that have virtual employees. They have virtual internship programs. I personally run a virtual internship program, so my interns can live anywhere in the world. With my program, we communicate via Skype, via freeconferencecall.com every morning, over email, and we're constantly in contact. The students still interact with each other. They're working together on group projects. I had one student at Appalachian State, another at Fairleigh Dickinson in New Jersey, and they're the closest friends now, and they've never even met before. So it is possible to provide a great experience for students and a beneficial learning experience through a virtual internship program. So if it makes sense for your company, and that's usually for companies that don't have office space, then I encourage you to move forward with it.
I imagine that those virtual internships are serving the same purpose. Internships kind of have a dual purpose. They're for getting work done, but they're also for recruiting. Do virtual internships serve that same purpose? They help introduce someone to a company, or do they lack that part of it? Do they just get work?
I think they can absolutely introduce someone to a company culture. If they're communicating with you directly on the phone every day of their internship, then I think they're going to get a strong sense of the culture. If they're performing entry-level tasks, that are supervised, I think they're getting a great feel for the company. And I think they can definitely. I've had students that have done a virtual internship and have been brought on full-time by that company once they graduate because they've excelled at their internship and done such a great job.
Got it. Thank you, Lauren. This has been interesting, and good luck with everything that you are doing in the future with the Intern Queen, internqueen.com.
Thank you.